let's say 3, 1. Make this circle. And this circle make this one. Make this one. And this is 90 degrees. And this is 15% music. This is art. This is math. In addition, we have total. By the way, 01, 14, 23. And this SATC. Total 40 we have. Okay, be ready to read it and read for yourself every day. 40 students. How many students want for math? Well, if you see this 90 degrees, 90 degrees is quarter, right? If you split like this, it means this is 25%. Since it's quarter, 90 degrees. If this is 15% and this total 25%, so this would be R 25 minus 15, this is R, which is 10%, right? They ask you 10%. Well, this part, diameter, split this circle by 2 semicircles. So math plus art is 50%. So from here, math equals 50 minus 10, which is 40%. 40%, which is 0.4. And eventually 0.4 of 40 students, you got 16 students. Don't be confused. Very often they confuse percent and degrees. So this is quarter 25%, this is 10%, this is 50%, so this is 10, this is 40%. And just multiply this by this. Any questions? To understand this simple question. To understand, raise your hand. Diana, is too fast? Diana, ask question. Daniela, you're raising hand. Daniela, you know my rule. Daniela, you can hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you immediately have 2 seconds to react? David, 2 seconds. Okay, hands down. Again, if you have any question, ask. But 2 seconds to react. Otherwise, I see you're not listening. They're not fair. 3, 6. Not 3, 6. Before 3, 6, we have a few students for 3, 5. Again, when I have word problems, you will read it. If it's just equation, 3, 5. All right, here, 3, 5. 5 over 12, 1 over A plus 1 over B, more convenient way, equals to, what is it, 5 over 12. This is given. In addition, AB equals to 24. What value of A plus B? Well, LCD AB, I multiply this B by A, and I have BH, B plus A in the denominator over AB equals to 5 over 12. Since AB equals to 24, again 24, I'll have B plus A over 24 equals to 5 over 12. If you make cross multiplication, in one step you get b plus a. So far so good. So if it's straightforward, I skip it. If you have a question, we'll make cross multiplication. And 3, 5. Next is 3, 6. Again, if too fast, ask me. In 3, 6, you're supposed to make a picture. And we have parabola, which goes downward. Kind of like this, not symmetrical. Must be symmetrical, more symmetrical. And we have a rectangle. And this A, M, H, and what is it, T. And we have f of x equals negative x squared plus 9. Equation of this graph. Okay, if length of MA equals to what? Equals to 5. What is AT? AT is a question mark. Well, if this is MA equals to 5, it means y coordinate is 5. It means f of x equals to 5. And this equals to 5. Minus 9 and minus 9. X squared with minus cancel out equals to negative 4. Multiply both part by negative 1. You have x squared equals to 4. Take square root of both parts. X equals to plus minus 2. So what is it? It means this is negative 2. And this is positive 2 and 5. They ask you to find AT. AT equals 2 minus negative 2, which is 4. They ask you to find AT. Actually, 2 steps problem. Any questions, students? Understand up to this point everything. Diana, raise hand, participate. 2 times you're not raising hands, the 3rd time, bye-bye. Okay, hands down. Again, very typical question. Usually, you have not more than 30 seconds to solve this. David, hands down. Sam, hands down. 3, 7. I try to do not very fast, but if you do very slow, you will not finish. You have almost every question from this test. On this test, we have 50 questions as usual. In 3, 7, make a picture. The picture is Kind of like this. Now specify letters they have here and dimension. This is 4, this is 8, this is 2, this A, B, C, D, let's say E. When you made a picture, this rectangle, BC equals 8, what the area of shaded? And this part is shaded. Well, if you look at this rectangle, ADEB, opposite sides are congruent of rectangle. This is 2. Now, the shaded region actually represented by trapezoid. BCDEF. This is trapezoid. You see, 2 parallel lines and 2 not parallel. Trapezoid. For trapezoid area for trapezoid, B1 plus B2 divided by 2 multiplied by height. Remember for 5th grade, right? B1 we have, height we have, we don't have B2. Let's say X. Simple logic. If I knew X, it would be the answer immediately. But I don't have X. From another side, we have two triangles, ABE, similar to triangle AFC. Why it is similar? First of all, you have a theorem. If you have angle and cut it by parallel lines, they parallel since this is 90 degrees. All triangles are similar. Or you can easily prove this common vertex, 90 degrees angles, and supplementary as a result. So angle, angle, angle. If sides are, if triangles are similar, the sides are in proportion. For instance, X to this long side would be what? 4 plus 8, which is 12. As to the small side vertical, corresponding side. From this, you easily get X. 4X is equals 2 times 12. Divide by 4 both parts. Cancel out. This is 6. This is 6. And now plug into this formula. This is 2. This is 6. And this is 8. If you can't get this area. Okay. You can do it another way. Take large triangle area when you find X and subtract small triangle. Same result. Any questions? You don't mind if I don't multiply these numbers? Better to cover more. Okay. We understand up to this point 100%. Daniela, second red dot wanna have? Hands down, good. Again, many of you, I told many times, many of you think that this what you study is only for SAT. No. Nothing develop your analytical thinking skill like algebra and geometry. So first of all. Second of all of you go to universities, and university have many disciplines which connected to math, right? if you know math, you're absolutely in different position to compare to ordinary professionals. I can give example where I used shaded area and created a corporation in Germany. Did I tell you about this short story? Who would like to know how connected medical corporation to geometry? Okay, hands down. I give example because geometry is life. It's not just SAT at all. I love geometry. I like all this stuff. So many years ago, I work as director of science of the largest institute in Moscow, right? It was Institute of Prosthetic and Orthotics. We created the first myoelectric hand in the world was created in my institute. After that, we sold license to all these countries of the world. Now you see myoelectric hands everywhere. It was another institute, Central Institute of Traumatology and Orthopedic. It was a great professor. I met him. His name is Govalla. He was from, I believe, from Ukraine, and he worked on this institute as a head of department. And he studied actually this Institute of Traumatology, but he was a genius person. And he studied blood, because many people who came, they have blood problem as well. And once he developed interesting approach, he studied, you know, lymphocytes. We have lymphocytes, right? A lymphocyte has a body and has nucleus. And he studied blood. He was a doctor of science. And he found that if you have a lymphocytes, look at this. This is lymphocytes. Okay. And this is nucleus, schematically. And he found relationship. If you get area and use regression line between body of lymphocytes and nucleus, you can answer 4 questions. The first question was, if a person has cancer or not. Second, if he does not have, how far he is from this disease. We make prediction. What is strength of his body for this? Even looking at his blood, you can tell localization of tumor. Because for different kind of tumor, of cancer, you have different shape of graphs. So he did it manually. It was very difficult. It was very often he was mistaken in this case, and we decided what to do. We decided to use math. He is not a mathematician. He is a medical doctor, right? The only combination of your knowledge can give you a lot of stuff. And we created a special program. We use robotic microscope. You know, robotic microscope. When you have blood smear is thin piece of glass where you put blood and you make it very thin film, and you make a special paint, special method we have for this, and put under microscope, and microscope going by microns and scanning this back and forth, recognize we have different cells, recognize automatically, recognize only lymphocytes, measure lymphocytes, every piece, put to our database. A database based on our equations build regression lines. It was amazing. Can you believe? Only blood smear, no biopsy, and answer these 4 questions. Actually, what is it? Look at this, shaded area, shaded area. Can just medical doctor without knowing geometry can do this? No way. Many of you want to be doctors. Keep in mind, I have thousands of different examples where we help people with scoliosis, with spinal problem, etc. But you're supposed to know math and science for sure. Real story, I will name it this method. We file a patent, and patent BCMM, blood self morphometric method. What is morphometry? Changing shapes of lymphocytes. Real story, real method, real microscope. This is about it. So why I tell him about this? Because I see some students thinking about what you're doing with SAT. No, it's not only SAT. It helps you a lot in your life. A real situation. Okay. Meanwhile, it was 3.7. Now 3.8. Very fast. In 3.8, we have AX minus BY equals to 9. And 3x, line up everything, plus y equals to 3. Then system equation, linear equation, has infinite many solutions. So what value a plus b? Well, theoretically, we have few different situations. For instance, when you have one solution, you have two graphs, they have one point of intersection. Let's say this is one solution, A, X, Y. We can have another scenario when we have two lines, they never intersect. And they parallel. This is one solution. This is no solution because they never intersect. And finally, we take different color. If we have one line, and the second line goes exactly on the top of this line, actually look like one line. They have infinite set of solutions. In this case, M the same, and y-intercept the same. In this case, M the same, but y-intercept not the same. Actually, we have only three cases in the entire SAT. If they have solution, just solve system of equation. If they said what they said here, no solution, or infinitely same. Infinitely, it means they're the same. It's the same line. So one of this way, but it's a little bit longer, unscramble in terms of y equals mx plus b, and compare these two lines, or smarter way, faster, because you need to do it fast. If these two same line, so the coefficient supposed to be absolutely proportional. So a over 3, this is the fastest way, equals negative b over 1, because this is 1. And this equals to 9 over 3. Okay. How many equations we have here? 3. For instance, this is one equation. A over 3 equals to 9 over 3. So from here, a equals to 9. Or negative b over 1 equals to 9 over 3, the second solution. Or 3. Okay. Negative b equals to 3, or b equals to negative 3. Now, how to find a plus b? A plus b equals to 9 plus negative 3, which is 6. This is the fastest way. I don't recommend unscramble, it's wasting time. So again, the coefficient, since it's the same line, proportionality, coefficient of proportionality must be the same. Sam, you have questions? You're raising hand. And Daniela, you use some browser watching Chiburashkas?
Me? No.
System generated, use browser.
I'm not using anything else.
Look at this. We have now, you don't use it. This is smart system, student. Okay, and never give some, I know, some questions if you don't have problems. Even turn on computer in different room, I get signal. You know this? 3, so far so good? 3:10. Classmate 3:10. Pablo, read it please. 3:10. It's next question.
Okay. If y is inversely proportional to x squared and y equals to 10 when x equals to 2, what is the value of y when x equals to 10?
Thank you. So for SAT, we have two kinds of relationship: inverse proportional, inverse variation, direct variation. In direct variation, we use proportion. For inverse variation, we use product. Product before and after is a constant, the same. Okay, for instance, more people you have, less day food lasts in your computer. Number of in your refrigerator. More people, less day. Inverse. Product the same. So what we have here? Y inversely proportional to x squared. For me, the same, right, formal way is constant, always the same. Now, when y equals to 10, x equals to 2. What the value of y when x equals to 10? It's constant, always the same. So from this simple equation, you can easily find y. So far, so good. And this equals to 2, they say, right? Yes, x equals to 2. To make it faster. So how to find y? Divide by 10 to the second power, most parts. After simplification, you easily get the answer. It's 4 over 10, which format? Or 2 over 5. One step problem. Again, inverse variation, product always the same. It's one line, 30-second question. To understand this 100%, 100. Okay, good. What about Pavla?
I get how to solve it, but I don't really understand like the reasoning behind the equation.
Okay, I will explain reasons. Well, I don't have this. It's on the top of this shelves. I give you easy example, like we did for some questions. Let's say in your family, Paula, you have 4 people. Let's say, right, 4 people, and you bought a food for 14 days, for 2 weeks, right? 4 people. And you make a shopping for 14 days. And 3 more friends came visit you. 4 plus 3. Now you have 7 people, right? And they ask you how many days food lasts. Do you expect more day food lasts or less when you have more people?
Less.
Less, absolutely. You cannot make proportion, because if you make proportion, you get more people, more days. Has no sense. In this case, we have different technique. We made inverse variation. So product before and after always the same. You can have different parameters. It's one of example. I'll give another example. You have mesh gears, right? And they rotated this way. Let's say this gear has 100 teeth, and this has 20 teeth. And let's say this has 80 RPM. And ask you to find this. Which rotate faster? Smaller or bigger? What do you think?
The smaller one.
Smaller. So bigger diameter increases, slower rotation. The same model like here. And you can write x times 20, or you always equals 100 by 80. This is the idea of inverse variation. To find x, divide by square by 20. So from now, makes generalization. Wherever you have inverse, what here? What is commonality? This product always the same, constant. This product always the same, constant. And this product is always the same, constant. You cannot make proportions, because if I use proportion, you get bigger diameter, faster rotates, which does not reflect the reality. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
100%, right? Okay, good. More questions? So math is way of formalization of different processes, right? When I see this one, for instance, you know message language, right? What is message language? It's a combination of English and math. There's a table, many pages, and English. Addition means and multiple in math. Off, 50% off. It means multiplication. And every time you formal way, when you have experience, you automatically convert to language of symbols. For me, when I see inverse, I just use this way. Seconds, no, zero creativity, just tool, like in wrestling, right? Next is, it was 10. 10. Now, 11. Where is Nicole? Read it, please, 11. What was your question?
The graph of a quadratic equation above, where k is a constant, has a vertex at point A, B in the xy plane. Which of the following?
Okay, thank you. So good idea in many questions, instead of solving, make some sketch. We'll do this. 311. We have equation like y equals k times x minus 4 times x plus 2. The graph k is a constant, has a vertex at point A, B. I just write what is given. What the following equals to A? Well, when y equals to 0, when either x equals to 4 or x equals to -2. Let's make a sketch. Let's say this is -2 and this is 4. And parabola goes something like this, not to scale. If I take different color, you know, Nicole, this parabola always symmetrical, right? This is axis of symmetry. It's symmetrical, and this is vertex. And vertex has coordinates A and B. What is A? A is actually x coordinates, order pair, and B is y coordinate. Actually, behind the scene, since this symmetrical, they ask you to find midpoint. How to find midpoint? Xm equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2, or minus 2 plus 4 divided by 2, 2 over 2 is 1. And this is our A, base of symmetry. Who understand this? 100%, 100. Daniela. Okay, do it in 2 seconds. Good. Hands down. Sophia, you have a question? Okay. It was what, 311? Now 312. 312. First of all, let's make a picture. One of things of success in SAT, you have to pay attention what we're doing here. One of this way how to check if you're careful enough. Raising hand. To raise hand, you have 2 seconds to raise. This is crucial. This is P, which is -1, -1. This is R. This is Q. This is respectively Y and X. And Q is 6 and K. And this isosceles triangle, right? Isosceles triangle, this and this legs are the same. And they ask you to find K. K is a question mark. Well, we have point P and we have point Q. Since this perpendicular right angle, you can easily find coordinate of point R. R coordinate has 6x. And Y is -1. Easy from this picture. So far, so good? Step number 1. Now you can easily find PR. PR equals length of the segment 6 minus -1. 6 plus 1, which is 7. Now, what is K? K is Y coordinate, is Y of point Q. Y of point Q, or K, equals initial point is -1. They ask you, right? This is -1 plus length. This and this length the same because this is isosceles triangle. So if this is 7, this is 7, which is 6. Okay, so far so good. Who understand up to this point? Hands up. Good, excellent. Nicole? Again, if you have any question, ask me. Can we see majority of question you can solve in a few seconds? Not tricky at all. Okay, let's go through next one. What is the next question? Okay, it was, what is it? 312, right? 313, few students. 313. To I divided by 1 minus I equals to A plus BI. Constant. What's the value of A? Well, when you have this question, it's question not for thinking, like routine. Without thinking, multiply by conjugate. So what I'm going to do, I multiply this by 1 plus I denominator and 1 plus I numerator. No thinking. Let me write this one. We started with you special chapter, complex numbers, remember? Review it at home. So use this triptych, what we have here in the numerator. 2i plus 2i to the second divide y, 1 minus I to the second. Keep in mind, I to the second is -1. And plug in. You will have 2 by definition, 2i. I to the second is -1, I write more neatly here. Minus 2. Divide 1 minus -1 over 2. Butterfly rule. You have I minus 1. Now normalize. Generally speaking, complex number represented by A plus BI. This real part, this imaginary part. So I unscramble. It will be -1 plus I, which is the same. And this A plus BI. They ask you to find what? A. A equals to -1. So the recipe for this, multiply by conjugate. Never leave in the denominator complex numbers. To understand this 100%, 100. Diana? And
I have a question.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm confused how you found 2 for the denominator.
Okay, good. Look at this. Do you remember formula? A plus B times A minus B. Help me with if you remember. Diana?
It's a squared plus 2ab minus b squared.
A squared just means minus B squared.
Oh, oops, sorry.
This key thing, we name it difference of square of two numbers equals difference of terms multiplied by sum of two terms. When you multiply by conjugate, automatically get, you see the same formula? I will write here 1, the first term to the second power, minus the second one. So far, so good? Diana?
Yeah.
But since I to the second, by definition, equals to -1, I plug in, instead of this, -1. Okay, 1 to the second is 1 minus -1, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Basic formula must. I don't ask you to memorize a lot, but okay. So far, so good, Diana?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome at home. And next time I ask you formulas, basic of abridged formula. Wait a minute, abridged formulas. Okay, 13. Again, I go through most request question first. After that, I can return to any problem we have. Okay, 16. Nicole, read this, please. 16. 316.
The quadratic equation above has two real solutions. If one of the solutions is 5, constant, what is the other solution?
Okay, only too fast, right? When you read, try to use bring some feelings to this. Okay, but good. So you have equation 316 x squared minus ax equals to -10. This is given. The quadratic equation has two real solutions. One of solution is 5. X1 equals to 5. And A is a constant. A is a constant. What the other solution? Find x2. Well, plus 10 plus 10. I just normalize, make a squared plus bx plus c. I got x squared minus ax plus 10 equals to 0. Now I can apply François-Vieta theorem, what was created is by bookkeeper in 16th century, François Vieta. And you know how to factorize, right? Two pairs of parentheses. And product of two terms supposed to be equals to 10. And the sum supposed to be negative a with opposite sign. If 1 is 5, I can write if 1 root is 5. So the second, in order to get 10, supposed to be -2. How to check? -5 times -2 equals to 10. Good, we know everything about this. And what the question? This is a question. So x2 equals to 2. Otherwise, it's not going to equal to 0. So what again? Normalize this quadratic equation and factorize by François-Vieta theorem. Any questions? Who understand up to this point 100%? 100. Okay, Nicole. Yes. The next is Diana 318. It was your question. What is 318? Read it, please.
In the figure above, line L is parallel to line M. What is the value of B?
Thank you. So first of all, make a picture. You have two parallel lines. And we denote that they parallel like this way. And we have a kind of triangle. And this is A and A. What else is given? This is B. And this is 80. What the value of B? You can solve a few different ways. For instance, if these two lines parallel and this is, let's say, AB is transversal, this and this 80 degrees alternate interior to equal alternate interior. So now this is straight angle. 80 plus 2a's AA equals to 180. Minus 80, this is step number 1. And step number 2. 2a equals to 100. Okay. Divide by 2 both parts. A equals to 50. This is 50. And B is exterior angle, exterior. Step number 3. Angle B equals total of 2 remote angles. Remember the theorem. Exterior angle of any triangle equals total of 2 remote angle not adjacent to this. It's, and they ask you to find only B, right? Would be 50 plus 80. This fastest way probably, which is 130 degrees. You want to have extra step, you can do extra step. If this is 80, this is 50, you can find this angle. After that, this supplementary, and you can find this. But this is a little bit faster. Okay. It was 318, 319, 319. Samuel A. Read it, please. 319. Hands down, everybody, please.
At a certain party, an executive committee provided 1 soda for 8 people, 1 large bag of chips for 4 people, and 1 cheesecake for 6 people. If the total number of sodas, large bag of chips, and cheesecakes was 78, how many people were at the party?
Okay, thank you. So we don't know how many people. Let's make a legend. What number is it? 319. Let's say X is number of people in the party. Now they said provided 1 soda for 8 people. Divide by 8. One large bag of chips for 4 people. And 1 cheesecake for 6 people. If the total number of sodas, if you add them up, it's supposed to be 78. Okay. You don't know to use this proportion. You know that 1 person, 8 soda, X people, I don't know how many sodas, Z. Z equals to 8, etc. You don't need it, just in one shot, right? And after that, you have to find X. How to find X? LCD is 24. This is 3, 6, and 4. And would be 10 plus 3, 13x over 24 equal to 78 multiplied by 24 over 13. Both parts. Cancel, cancel. 13 goes into 78 6 times. 120 plus 24, 144. Okay, So far so good. $319. And finally, for this part, Theodore, read please 320.
The figure above shows trapezoid ABCD. If M is the midpoint of AD and AD equals 3 times BC, what fraction of the area of the trapezoid is shaded?
Good. Make a picture. I like your reading, not very fast, clear. The same, when you read, it's not Three Musketeers. Try to read with feeling, some understanding with board. Make a picture. ABM. CD. This is trapezoid. Two lines are parallel. And this is shaded again. AFM is midpoint. This and this equals to AD equals to 3. Where is AD? Oh, not AD is not 3. AD equals 3 BC. So if this is X, this must be 3x's. If this midpoint, it means this 1.5x and this 1.5x as well. Okay. What fraction area of trapezoid is shaded? You have to find area shaded to area trapezoid. Make it like this schematically. So far so good. Well, we did this today, area for trapezoid. I use a space. Area of trapezoid, generally speaking, base 1 plus b2 divided by 2 multiplied by height. Or this is x, this is 3x, and this is height. Let me use height. Don't be afraid of use variables. It would be b1 is x plus 3x divided by 2 multiplied by height. Or 4x is over 2 times height. Or 2x height. What is it? It's area of trapezoid. How to find area shaded? Step number 1. Step number 2, area shaded, triangle shaded equals base times height divided by 2. And finally, step number 3, area shaded to area of trapezoid equals xh over 2 divided by 2xh, or 2xh over 1, more convenient. Now, third grade, keep, change, flip, Kentucky chicken fried. Take this one, xh over 2, flip, change division to multiplication, and flip upside down. 2xh. Next xha cancel out. You get 1 over 4. Typical question from many SATs. I have hundreds of these examples. Once I bought an auction SAT starting from, I believe, 1922. I have in my collections. Very similar questions. So don't be afraid of using variables if you don't have variables. See, anyway, you can sell out them. Understand up to this point, everything, students, everything. Diana, Samuel, Daniela, good. So we practically explain all most frequent questions, section 3. Did you find any questions difficult here, students, behind the scene? No difficult questions here. Section 4, calculator section. So, by the way, good idea if in future you prepare calculators, right? Because I want to have few classes. I see the student don't know how to use calculator in real, not just basic for multiplication, but ability of calculator is great. Only don't rely too much on this because they can switch problem from section 4 to section 3. But in calculator, you can even install some programs, which it's allowed. Okay, not every calculator is allowed to SAT. But who really know calculators? Put your hands down. Hands down, hands down. Sam, Theodore, hands down. Who really comfortable with calculators? Yeah, Paula, Diana, you know how to use statistics, all this stuff, tricks. Okay, arc functions. We're going to show some tricks. In this case, you can solve many problems like 1, 2, 3. But good idea if you prepare, what kind of calculator you use? TI-84 with different varieties? Probably
Yeah.
3, right? Who used TI-84, raise your hand, with different silver, not silver. Okay, good, good, good. I see. Hands down. Who used TI-83? Okay, hands down. Who use Inspire? Oh, you have this and this, right? Inspire for this test is allowed. So since majority use TI-84, maybe one day prepare some nice example for TI-84. We have also calc calculator, but it's not allowed. It's only for calculus. Keep in mind, if you use this one, no way. I can show how to use it, but most important to use analytical thinking skill. But some tricks can help you to solve many questions faster. Anyway, this section 4, number 3, right? 4.3. Okay, Katie, it was your question. 4.3, please.
The table above shows some values for the linear function f. Which of the following defines b?
Okay, good, students. When you have a question of this, be very careful. Usually they give multiple choices, and multiple choice, some students choose the first value and very happy. But the first value on this table can satisfy few equations. In order to be sure, you have to choose few points on this graph. You understand? Plug in x and y. Not for one point, for few points. Because you plug in the first value from table, it can fit few answers. Let's say you choose I will not make this picture of this. You have graph and you have table in front of you. But let's say when you found the equation which satisfy all this, or find by yourself this using patterns. After that, this is for 3. Let's say I found only d works and db equals to 3a plus 3. Okay. And if I give you this, for instance, I override this. F of n, I look at this table, equals 3n plus 3. Now I choose any value, for instance, -1 equals 3 times -1 plus 3, -3 plus 3 equals 0. And you see when n equals to -1, f of n equals to 0. In the same manner, you check few points. If all points satisfy, the answer is this equation. So far, so good. Simple substitution, nothing else. So if you first ask me, Okay, 4-4. Nicole, read it, please.
The incomplete table above shows the results of a survey about subject preference given to 100 students. What is the probability of art students being female?
Okay, thank you. So for explanation, I'll briefly make this table. Nice reading. And you have gender. And these males, females, total. Only for explanation, I refer to this page. And subjects. Subjects. Art. Music. And total. And they give few values. 65, 100, 30, 20. Did I miss something? 30, 20, 65. Okay. They ask you probability art female. Okay. Art female. So you have to find this value. 2. What probability the art to this value? Okay. So based on this, you can easily find. For instance, if this 65, this is 100, step number 1, this must be 35. Check it. If this 65 total, this is 30, this might be 35. If total 35, this must be 15. If this is 35, this is 20, this must be 55. If this is 55, this is 100, this must be 45. And would be 15 over 45. Data interpretation, also a few seconds, just have experience. And simplify it will be 1 over 3. Any questions, students? If too fast, ask me, I explain again. Or 4. Sophia, 4-6. Sophia and 4-6.
Should I read the one before it?
Yes, before this also. Yes,
Okay. The scatter plot above relates to two sets of data on a graph and shows the results of a class student's last 2 algebra tests. Both the vertical and horizontal axes show the scores. Which of the following is the greatest change in scores between test 1 and test 2?
Okay, thank you. So since for 5 nobody asked, I just briefly show this. For 6. And for 6, the hairy graph. In this graph, all the students we had in Moscow University, we have huge long blackboards. They just move back and forth. On the top was written, don't forget one we have on the axis, because sometimes scientists and mathematicians explain to each other. They make graph and they forget to write what we have on axis, what units, what values. So that's why step number 1, what is it? This is test 2, this is crucial. And this is test 1. And now read the question. 6. Which the following provided greatest change or score between test 1, they ask you greatest, than test 1 and test 2. Test 2. And this difference is maximum. Maximum of this difference, when it will be maximum? When this is the greatest and this is the smallest. Make sense? Now, where you have, this is test 1. Where you have greatest test 1. Test 1 increasing this way. I have to find a point where test 2 is the greatest and test 1 is the greatest and test 2 is the smallest. Only one point I have here, which satisfies. If I choose this point, it is not good because test 2 is big. If I choose this point, this kind of 90, and this is 40. So for this point, T1 is the biggest and T2 is the smallest. So 90 minus 40, which is 50. Sophie, 100%?
Yes, thank you.
It was number, what is it, 6, right? Okay. 47. Samuel M. 47.
For 7. The lifespan of a certain bird has been tracked from the year 2010, and the average lifespan is modeled by the equation above. In 2010, the lifespan of the bird was 10 years. What is the meaning of the number 0.2 in the equation?
Okay, thank you. Also typical questions. So first of all, write this equation which they give you. L equals to, what is it, 0.2 times T minus 2010, close parenthesis, and plus 10. And they ask you, track the year, and the average lifespan is modeled by average. Local multiple choice. Even the questions we have each year, how to get each year? Well, it is supposed to be 2011, because if you from this to subtract this, it would be 1 year. Make sense? Okay. And now they ask you, what is 0.2? 0.2 times 1, it will be 0.2. It means the lifespan increased each year from 2010. That's it. Why? Because you multiply by each year. No solution. Okay, so far so good. Okay, good. If you don't have a question for this one, next is for 8. For 8. We have x squared minus 2x. Let me make some rooms here, okay? To save time and space. Make some room plus y squared plus 2y make some room minus 3 and this equals to 0. Equation of circle is shown above. What the diameter? Find diameter. First of all, I will write here canonic equation of circle. Canonic x minus h to the second plus y minus k to the second equals to r to the second. You know this, right? So, everyone knows, we did many times with you. I just remind you, what is it? If you have a circle, and this is h and k, coordinates of the center. When you give this question, no thinking, just routine question. Complete the squares. And you have to know two formulas, a bridge formula. For instance, a minus b to the second, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And you have, when you have plus, it's supposed to be plus here, two formulas. That's why I want a complete square to get from this scramble to unscramble this one. How to do this? Okay, plus 1 and minus 1. Why? Because this one complete square would be x minus 1 to the second power minus 1. And I have kind of this one. Plus complete this square. Plus 1 and minus 1. I can write instead of this y plus 1 to the second power. Now, what is left? Not used so far. To save space, I will add them up to have this format after that. -1, -1, and -3. It would be -5 equals to 0. What I did, just complete a square based on this formula because it's my target. To understand up to this point, 100%, 100. Okay, David R. Smiley face. Okay, 2 seconds, you know my rule. Hands down. Now, remember, right part supposed to be some value. Add 5 and add 5. After that, I can override this. X minus 1 to the second plus y plus 1 to the second equals to 5. If I select Control C, Control V, this over there, I'll have x minus h to the second, why not? Plus y minus k to the second equals to r to the second. Beautiful. R to the second equals to 5. So r to the second equals to 5. If I take square root of both parts, I easily get r equals to square root of 5. But since they ask you diameter, and diameter equals 2 radii equals 2 times square root of 5. Again, there is a great book, you can read this book written by Garrington Emerson. The name of this book, 12 Principles of Productivity. One of this principle, they said, correct principles and right in hands of ordinary people more efficient than systemless attempts of genius. What is the idea of this? If you know correct principles, you do the steps. This is just routine. You're not supposed to be genius to get A+ and perfect score anywhere. And genius without preparation, he will not do this. So correct, you see this? No thinking, just unscramble. You see, for instance, in all this example you did, all these examples. You see complex number, conjugate, no thinking too much. Thinking for few questions, and this is just routine. Okay, this was what number? It's for 8. If you have question or too fast, ask me. Okay. Next is, let me erase this one, this one, this one. Go to the next one. The next one is 411. Theodore again. 411.
Jackson wants to measure the length AB of a lake. In the figure above, AB is parallel to CD, DE equals 6 feet, CD equals 10 feet, and BE equals 300 feet. What is the length of the lake?
Thank you. Nice reading. Let's make this picture. 411. And this is DEC. Be careful, use the same letter they use, always. You don't use letter, they don't use any letter, but if they use, and they use different color, and this is a lake. Made in China. New marker. Can't believe it. Anyway, this is a lake. Okay. AB is parallel to CD. This is how you denote the parallel. DE equals to 6. Where is DE? This is 6 feet. CD equals to 10 feet. BC, where is BC? 300 feet. Okay. BC equals to 100 feet. Good. And this is 90 degrees. And what to find? What length of lake AB? We have many of these questions. If some of you go in and study geodesy, we study a lot. We use special devices, we name it delete, nivelier, to find this angle. But when you have access, this you don't have access. How to measure? Easy. So if this is 6, what is 6? 6 is 3 times 2. What is 10? It is 5 times 2. Since this is right triangle, this must be Pythagorean triple. 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay, so far so good. Now, Pythagorean triples. Second of all, since two parallel lines and these two angles are the same because alternate interior angle. And AB is X. Okay. Since the same, how to know never make mistake? For instance, sometimes you make wrong proportion, but this is easy because if, let's say, if you see this triangle, you have this and this. What is it? This cosine of this angle. So first of all, angle A, angle C equals to angle B. Alternate interior. If angle the same and they're less than 90 degrees, you can write that cosine of C, just not to make mistake, equal cosine of B. And what cosine of B? 300 over X, adjacent to hypotenuse. What cosine of C? Adjacent to hypotenuse. Cross multiplication, find X. Any questions, students? Just proportionality of two triangles. They are similar. If they're similar, I mentioned these two triangles. Definitely you have to write the triangle DEC similar to triangle ABE. Why are they similar? 90 degrees vertical angles, two angles alternate interiors, and two angles alternate interiors. Angle, angle, angle. If it's similar, the sides are in proportion. Understand up to this point, 100%. You don't need this cosine. This cosine only hint how to never make mistake in your proportions. If you have any question, ask me. It was 411. Next is, again, if I miss something, you let me know. But I go so far through most requests.
The two health clubs offer different membership plans. The graph above shows the yearly cost, including a membership fee plus a monthly charge for each club. Which of the following best approximates the total cost in dollars for Club B when both plans are the same?
Okay, thank you. So let me go to so we have one club A, this A, and the second club B. And this is 200. This is about 700. This is 12. This is 12,700. And this is 12,800. I look to this graph. And what else? And this is U. And this is B. And the question is 20. Okay. Approximate the total cost in dollars when they're the same. We have the same. You have to find this one. When they're the same, you have to find this one. This value. So if you want to have graphically, it would be not exact. And answer is very close to each other. So the best way is described by equations, right? So club A, YA equals MA times X, and y-intercept is 0. What is MA? Is 800 okay, rise over run minus 0 divided by 12 minus 0. So this is YA. Now how to find MB? Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1. Why? Because it doesn't go through 0. It would be 700 minus 200 divided by 12 minus 0. Okay. So 500 over 12. Or you can write the equation of line B, MB, which is 500 over 12 times X and plus 200. Now, since they have a point intersection, they have the same value. All right, make them equal to each other. You have 800 over 12x plus equals 500 over 12x plus 200 minus 500 over 12x and minus 500 over 12x. So we have 300 x over 12 equals to 200. So multiply both part by 12 over 300. And cancel out. Since scientific calculator, you can use calculator for this. And you can do without this. Cancel out. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. When x equals to 8, plug into any of this equation. For this one. And you get like this value. So far, so good. Any questions? No questions. Good. It was 420. You see, all questions not complicated at all. Because usually 23 something. What is 23? Here it is. 423. You did not read today. Okay. For instance, Katie, please. And Aziza, be ready. Katie,
I'm sorry, which one?
23.
The graph above shows the daily high temperatures in Albany, New York for 6 days in January. Which of the following describes the data?
Thank you. So I schematically make this graph for explanation somehow. And this temperature, Fahrenheit. And this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, And what is it? And Saturday. With the phone, we grab the data. Well, take these values. Look at it. This is 5, right? This is 10. This is 20. This is 25. This is 20. Not nice, but this is 20. Make some adjustments to here. 20. And this is 30. Kind of like this. And that's mean. How to find mean? Mean is the same like average. Mean. Mean, not like. Mean is average. So add them up. 5 plus 10 plus, what is it? 20 plus 20, this 20 also. Plus 25 and plus 30. And divide by how many days? By 6. If I did it, I just give a number 110 over 6, which is 18.3. Mean or average. How to find median? Median, since you have even number of numbers, take 2 in the middle, add them up, divide by 2, which is 20. And now eventually mode. Most is the most repeating numbers, number which occur most often. And mode equals to 20. When I found this central tendency, all of them, I can easily look at multiple choice. Is mean equals to median? No. Is mean equals to mode? No. Is median equals to mode? Yes. Okay. Any questions soon about this? No questions. So just for comparison, find them. That's it. Okay. 24.
In the figure above, if sin A equals cosinus B, which of the following must be true?
Okay. You like these short questions? Thank you, Aziza. So make a picture first. Okay, H, B, C, E, D. Specify what is given, and this is F. And what we know the sign of A is given, right? Equals to cosine of B. And what the question? Which of the following must be true? Well, from basic of geometry, only for cofunctions, you have. For instance, for cofunctions, sine of x equals cosine of 90 minus x, and vice versa. So far, so good. This is basic property of cofunctions from trig. So from here, you can see that A, B equals to 90 minus A. In addition, all three angles together must be equals 180 degrees because inner angles. But since B equals to 90 minus A plus 90 minus A plus C equals to 180. A and A cancel out, minus 90 minus 90. You get C equals to 90. Property of cofunctions. Okay. Any questions, students? I explained, students, not necessary to memorize. I show how to it goes logically. Do you have any question? Can I erase this one? I need the room a little bit. I want to show how to get it logically without memorization too much. Look at this. The most important piece, one of the most important in trig is unit circle. Let's say I use unit circle. What is it? R equals to 1. This is a center. And I take any point, let's say A, and this angle theta, positive rotation counterclockwise. And I build a triangle. A, B, I use a C, for instance. Not O, not to confuse with U. And don't forget, radius equals to 1. What is CB? From this picture, CB equals CA times cosine of theta. Cator, remember? Well, since CA equals to radius equals to 1, it's equals to cosine of theta. So this cosine of theta. Easy, right? Now, let me build this graph like this. And AB equals CG equals radius times sine of theta, which is sine of theta. This is by definition. So this is sine of theta. I take different color. And since this complementary, this is 90 degrees by definition. And this complementary, this would be what? 90 minus theta. Complementary, both of them together 90 degrees. Okay. For instance, what is sine of 90 minus theta? Sine of A or sine of 90 minus theta? If I use this one. Okay. I can easily write if I use this one. This CB from here. CB equals radius times sine. Why sine? Because it's opposite to this one. 90 minus theta. But from another side, since radius equals to 1, I just get this cofunction, this formula. Similar, you can do it other way around. It's not memorization, it's naturally goes from unit circle. And we did with you. You understand up to this point, everything. It's, I want you feel every time you say, Katya, you understand or you have questions? Okay, good, good. It was not difficult. Okay. Next, any student ask. Let me see where you have questions. 426. In 426, what we have, this is 10 feet. And this is 10 feet as well. And 10. What else do you know? Okay, who would like to read this question? Daniela. Good. 426. Go ahead.
426. The figure above shows a silo built from a right circular cone and a right circular cylinder. If the volume of the cylinder is 1911 cubic feet, what is the volume of the silo in cubic feet?
Thank you. So, how to find volume of cylinder? Volume of cylinder equals area base times height, or pi r squared times height. Height equals to 10. Radius they don't specify. This radius equals pi times r to the second times height times 10. And they said this equals to 911. Okay. So far so good. From another side, volume of cone equals 1/3 area of base times height, or 1/3 pi r squared times height. Actually, you don't need to do this. You can do it mentally. Why? Because what they ask you to find? Volume of cylinder? I don't. You can use this one, but this is longer. We don't need this actually. We don't need this. It's extra step. This equals to 911. This is 1/3 of 911. Because if you look at this formula, you see this is 1/3. Why? Because height is the same. You can use it, it's not a mistake, but I show faster. Maybe it's supposed to use it to see this is structure is the same. And now volume of cylinder, how they spell it, cylinder. What is it? Doesn't matter. Equals volume of cylinder plus volume of cone. And volume of cylinder is 911 plus 1/3 of 911. Probably you're supposed to write it down to prove that this is the same, only divided by 3. That's it. Any questions, students? So this shortcut is straightforward, supposed to be 103 because they have the same radius and they have the same height. You know why United States they sell you ice cream in cones, not in cylinder? Who give me idea? Why they sell you ice cream in cones, not in cylinders?
Because the cone has 1/3 the volume of the cylinder.
They stealing your ice cream. And psychologically, when let's see, you're very happy. This your, you know, this your eye, and you're holding this ice cream, and looking from the top, you don't see this button, and you're so happy. But 2/3 it was stolen. Haha. It is. Keep in mind this problem. Next is 28. Many students ask. Maybe I use again. 28.
In the figure above, two identical rectangles lie inside a square, and the dimensions of a rectangle are A and B respectively. If the distance from the rectangles to the square and each other are 4 inches, and A to B equals 522, what is the area of the square in square inches?
Thank you. Nice reading, Aziza. Let's make a picture first. This is 428. Let's make a picture. So first of all, we have a rectangle. In this rectangle, we have two rectangles. Kind of like this, right? This AA, this is BB. What else do you know? If the distance from rectangles to the square in each other is 4 inches, this is 4, this is 4. Provide all the dimension like engineering. This is 4, and this is 4, as well as here is 4. Everywhere. Okay. A over B equals to 5/2. This is given. What the area of square? Find area of square. Well, from this, what is given? I use the space because I need to just so. You can easily find 5b equals to a. I express one variable in terms of another. Divide by 5 both parts. I found b equals to a over 5. Now, how to find width of this square? W. From this count, what we have? Step number 2. This W equals 4, 4, 4. Okay. So 4 times 3 pieces plus b plus b, because this both of this b, plus 2b or not 2b. Okay. Which is 12 plus 2b. What about height? What about this height? And this height equals 4 plus 8 plus 4. 4 plus 8 plus 4, which is 8 plus 8. But this is square. In square, W equals to height. And you can write 12 plus 2b equals 8 plus 8. But b, remember we found, you can write 12 plus 2 times 2a over 5 equals 8 plus 8. Now you can easily find a from here. How? Minus 8 minus 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 4a over 5. And minus 4a over 5. Cancel. This will be 4. This and this cancel out. A minus 4a over 5, it will be a over 5. Okay. So 4 over 1. So a equals to 5 times 4, which is 20. Look at this. Since you know a equals to 20, and height equals 8 plus 8, 8 plus 20, which is 28, and they ask you to find area. Area of square, third grade, equals 28 times 28. If you multiply, get the answer. Simple, just routine. To understand this 100%, 100. What about Diana, Katie, Leah? I know we're out of time. We have like 40 minutes more than we're supposed to finish. But anyway, I want to just explain you more. Just a second. Okay, if you don't mind, if I give you a few more questions. You know, we over 40 minutes above this, but you ask many questions and to answer the question anytime. But be patient, finish this, and be happy. Many questions ask, many should ask 433. Let's do 433 again. If I skip something, you will ask me, but so far, the most requested questions. In 4, let's make a picture. Triangle like this. We have to parabola intersect with this somehow. Not here. Not here. It goes through this point. Now it's better. Okay. First of all, picture. So we have two intersecting parabolas. And we have a BCD. An equation of this parabola y equals to x squared minus 32. And this one is y equals to negative x squared plus 16. Okay. And ask you to find area of rectangle. Area of rectangle. Well, I want to find these points. Y, when, since I want to find coordinate of these vertices, and when this equation equals to 0. So y equals negative x squared plus 16 equals to 0, minus 16 minus 16, negative x squared equals to negative 16, x equals to 16 to the second, square root of both parts, and you get x plus minus 4. And we found these coordinates of those 2 points, right? This is negative 4. All right, here. Negative 4, 0. And this is 4, 0. From here, you can easily find AB. 4 minus negative 4, which is 8. So this is 8. So far, so good. Now, any questions? If this is negative 4, this x also negative 4. And this negative 4 belongs to this graph. So I use this rule. If I have equation y equals to f of x, and I can easily find value of this function f of negative 4y, because this is negative 4, equals negative 4 to the second power minus 32, 16 minus 32, negative 16. So this is negative 16. Since length is scalar, not vector, this is 16, and this is 8. So area of rectangle is 8 times 16. So far, so good. Question for these students? It was 33. If you have any question, ask me. You understand up to this point everything. Chemistry test was not complicated at all. Okay. Next, when you should ask, let me find another question. $35. 435. Ask me 35, Pablo.
Okay. In the figure above, central angle AOB has a measure of pi over 3 radians. If the length of minor arc AB is 10, what is the area of the shaded sector?
Okay, thank you. So you can solve this from different ways. My suggestion, use radians. In radians, it's faster. The equivalent, but it's faster. Radians is more natural way than degrees. You know this, right? Degrees were created ancient Babylonian like 7,000 years ago. It's not natural. They approximately divide by 360. They thought in 1 year we have 360 days. It's not natural. And radian is very natural. So make a picture. Kind of like this. And yes, right, the picture. This kind of better. This is the center. And this AB. And this angle is pi over 3. And this is 10. And this they give you 10. And the radian, we have beautiful formula. L equals to r theta. What is L? Is length of arc. What is r? Radius. Theta is central angle. Just plug in. So 10 equals to r times pi over 3. If we take the front column, multiply by 3 over pi both parts, I instantly get what? Radius, instantly, in one shot. Cancel out. So radius equals 30 over pi. I step back. Who understand this up to this point? We use it many times. No questions, right? Now I use the second beautiful formula. Area of sector equals 1 over 2 r squared theta. This is formula for length. This formula for area. Or 1 over 2 r is 30 over pi to the second power. And times theta. Theta is pi over 3. That's it. Just operate with this. It will be, what is it? 1 over 2 times 900 over pi square times pi over 3. Pi to the second. 3 goes into 900, 300. Divided by 2 is 150. And it's 150 over pi. Since we have a scientific calculator section, you can divide, get the answer is now in numbers. Okay, you see, just so I show today that we solve all this problem. Each of these could be less than 1 minute. No difficult. Who understand up to this point? Who has no idea what is a radian physically? Who understand what is radian? Radian means. Not everybody, right? Well, I don't know. Let me pretend this is a circle, right? Pretend this is a circle. I don't remember all this appliances, but anyway, look at this. If I measure measuring tape, if I measure radius, make this line over there. After that, from this point, I put length of radius and connect beginning in any point from the center this angle is 1 radian. It's angle where length equals to length of the radius. It's it. So natural. Not related to 360, nothing. That's why this formula beautiful. It's helped you to save a lot of time for SAT. This idea of radian. So radian is angle where length of this arc equals to radius. It's it, nothing else. Okay, students. So practically explain all most class questions, but if you have still questions, ask me, I explain. If you have still questions, not mostly ones, but still have questions, I will help you. Well, if you don't have questions, so this test, which you did not show impressive results, you're supposed to redo again. And I give you new topics, okay? So what you're supposed to do at home? After my next lecture, I'll write down everything and send you. And my request, you're supposed to go through all the stuff what we did today, plus new material I send you. Okay, I remember Samuel, I remember your questions about some computer stuff. We're still thinking when I finish some project, maybe return to this topic. But the question is, many students ask manager a strategy to get to the best university, right? I can send you interview for TV. Maybe it give you some ideas. I don't know, send you or not. How to choose strategy, how university give you some preferences compared to another students. SAT very important, but it's one part only the system. If you'd like, raise your hand. I will send this to see general picture. I send you a link actually, link to this. Okay, I will send everybody, manager send everybody. Plus, one more thing. I want to think creative way. In addition, I send you interview in Las Vegas. I believe I did not send you. It was like a few weeks ago. How math connected to different research. If you'd like, raise your hand. I send this also link for you. It's 6 minutes interview. My request, whatever I send you, just spend a few minutes, see what we're doing in our corporations. And everything based on math. If you don't have any more questions, so today, close at night, I send you everything together with 2 links. Look at this and give you some ideas. Have a nice weekend. Be strong, be well. Enjoy math as usually.
Thank you, Dr. Farber. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Dr. Barber. You too. Have a wonderful week.
You too as well. Enjoy, students. Math is beautiful. Take care.